Welcome to Gallery Guichard virtually, and welcome to Afroclectic, a solo exhibit by Burts. And we're about to take you inside the studio of Burts and have a conversation with him about this amazing work.
I'm so excited. I really want to ask him about some of these pieces, especially what he means when it says colored only. He has so many things within his paintings that are going to be so intriguing for everyone to learn about.
It really makes you excited about eternal love and couples that have been together 30, 40, 50 years. You feel that passion in his work. So as they say, see art, love art, buy art, you're in for a treat. So jump on and hang on for the ride. Welcome back to Gallery Guichard virtually, and we are excited because we are here with Burts. How you doing, Al?
Hi,
I'm
Al.
doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
That's
Can't wait
great.
to
That's great.
come and actually see this amazing show you have up.
Yeah, I can't wait. My two daughters, they're coming with my wife, and my daughter's she's so excited. She said, "I'm so excited about this show. I'm excited about your artwork this time around."
What? You know when your daughter tells you that something special is going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like food for thought. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm equally excited. So I'm going to dive right in and start with the title, Afrolectic. Tell me how you
Okay.
came up with that title and what does this show mean for you as it relates to the story behind the whole show?
Right. Well, Afroclectic just means just like eclectic. Afroclectic is the meaning of just Black people and different Black cultures from all over the world. And we always find ourselves tied to just Africa, but we're children of the earth, actually. I mean, from the Tartarians to the Moors to the Jews to the Egyptians, we go so much further than that. We're all over the world, and we come from the earth, and we're sun people, actually. And that's why I named the show Afroclectic, because I just couldn't tie into just the Jim Crow era, which I did, and the South African like dandies. And the reason I was doing it was because actually from being raised by my grandmother and well, my grandmother and my great grandmother in the same house. You come down for breakfast and she's sitting there drinking coffee, and she always drink coffees before she start cooking breakfast. And if you get down there early enough, you get to hear her stories. And I was always the first one down and listening to her stories and knowing who my grandmother is and from the Jim Crow era and everything she was telling me about World War II, World War, and the Korean War she was talking about. From knowing those stories and knowing who she is, my mind, being an artist, my mind just started racing about how does she handle that? Because she was a woman of class, woman of strength, woman of beauty, and so my mind started picturing her in that era, you know, rising above it. And same way with the dandies, the South African dandies, they get dressed with the floral patterns and everything, and their backgrounds are so so rough. The same with African Americans. The background's so rough, but they put these clothes on and they rise with dignity. And that's why many of my pictures have, if it's not floral patterns, in the background, it's a rough background, but with a beautiful person in the front, which means that's what I wanted to bring forth, the beauty and the strength and the dignity of our people, even through the background, the rough backgrounds that we've come through.
Mm.
I love how you have captured the essence of us as opulent, as luxurious, as intelligent. How do you want young people to take your message? How, when they look at it, what do you want them to think? And, can you share a little bit how we can actually help make sure they get this message?
Yeah, and just like I tell my kids, all Black people, all Africans, they didn't drag themselves through the mud. They didn't drag themselves. They didn't carry themselves with their head down, and they didn't always look down. You know, I had an aunt that beat a man on a bus with an umbrella because he told her to get up. So all Black people didn't do that. So we did rise, and we do have some dignity, and we do have class about ourselves. So just because you're in this situation in the projects or in the ghetto, you don't have to carry yourself that way. You know, you can always rise above that. And with my kids, I make them rise above it.
Amen.
I love it. And, you know, for me, not only do I get our creativeness, our resilience, our beauty, but I also get something that's hard to capture, but it's part of Black culture, and that's swagger. You actually capture swagger in a way that's unique to our Black culture, but it's also the same thing you see as we travel to Africa or any other continent. We carry that same style. So I want to commend you on that. And then secondly, I want to ask about how and why did you focus on couples and senior couples? Because I admit you feel the void that we don't often see in the media. African American men aging gracefully and African American men and women together as a married couple. And I think that's something else. So if you could talk about that a bit.
Right, and that's what I was explaining to my kids. I was telling them about. Uh, for me, it has to be a couple because that's the strength. That's the power in our community, as far as a family. You know, we have to be a couple. It has to be an older couple because the couple have to have went through that Jim Crow era. You know, I can't get a young couple and still have a sign behind them to say for colors only. You know, it wouldn't mean the same. And these couples with that age, they still had their heads up high and they still had dignity. Oh, they was regal, you know, and that reminds me of my past. My grandmother with the Busy Bee organizations and the church organizations, they always put on their best. And the story of the dandies in South Africa, when they told me about that story, it just reminded me of my hometown and how I grew up. You know, people didn't have much, but when they walked out and they was going out or they was going to church, you couldn't tell it.
I know that's
Oh,
right.
yes, absolutely. A little bit about the guy with the cap on, what is that called? The type of cap that he wears. There's a name for it.
Oh,
However, he has markings on his face, and it's your pen and ink.
Oh, Chalky White. That's Michael K. Williams,
oh,
the actor. Yeah, one of his favorite characters he had was Chalky White from Boardwalk, the HBO show. That's one of my favorite characters because it was like his name. He always wore white, but he was dark, really dark, and his name was Chalky White. And he was a powerful man in the Black community during Atlantic City days. And I looked it up. He was actually a real guy. You know, just wasn't a character in the show. And I turned him around so it wouldn't show the scar on his face. But Chalky White, he still had that rough look, but he was always dignified. Also, it fits the show perfectly, and that's why I had to put cloth behind him instead of just a regular mat because I wanted it to fit into the show with the rest of everything in the show.
It's nice that you captured him because Michael was an amazing guy.
Yes, he was. Oh my goodness.
Personally.
incredible. Incredible. So I'm going to end with my last question about the show is the diversity of mediums. And, you know, I think now 10 years we've been working with you since the Bombay Artisan Series introduced us to you as the DC winner. And it was ballpoint pen that we met you with. But now the evolution, if you could talk about how you are creatively using multiple mediums. And then I even saw you that one piece with the basketball player, that whole style of three-dimensionalism. I mean, just amazing, talented artist. But if you could talk about the mediums a bit and how
Well,
you.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, with the medium, it's always been in my mind. I've been classically trained, but once I started with the ballpoint pen, everyone picked up on it. So when something is selling so well, you don't want to mess with it. But it's always been in my mind. It's like a mind spray, and you create everything twice, with your mind and then in reality. And so this time I just said, man, let me just do it. Let me do it because I'm about to explode if I don't do it, So it was in me, and I said, let me go ahead and do it. And I'm not sure if Andre is going to agree with it or like it, but I'm just going to do it anyway, But as far as the training in all different types of medium, I have it under my belt. But once everything starts selling, you start saying, okay, I'm gonna paint less and draw more. And then I said, I just can't go out like this. I got to continue on and keep growing. Because if I stop and stay stagnant in that place, it's gonna feel like work instead of art.
And we love it all.
Oh,
Tell us
thank
about
you.
what you have behind you.
Oh, the piece behind me is part of a series. I've been working on it for a long time. One of my few paintings is called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm doing a whole series of blood, sweat, and tears. People that do like dancing and something that looks beautiful, like ballet or gymnastics. It looks beautiful on the outside. But going to a school of the arts, a few dancers and you see their feet and you see the blood and you see the sweat and the tears they go through. So that's what my next series is going to be about.
Beautiful.
Nice, Al. Well, all I can say is it's a pleasure to know you, your wife, and the embodiment of family working together. And similarly, that's been our claim to fame and part of our success. So I just want to salute you on keeping it together as a family man, but also a great artist and working with the gallery. So once again, it's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, can't
Well,
wait.
thank you so much. And you guys know more than I do. It's hard. It's rough.
Not for the faint of heart, but we love it. It's a labor of love. And, when you're passionate about something, you make it happen and you make it
That's
fun.
it. And that's it, the passion. Thank you.
Al, it's been a ball talking with you.
It's been great. Thank you so much. You guys are my heroes.
Right, Al.
You are.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's
Appreciate
right.
you, brother.
That's right. Okay. See you guys.
Wow, that was amazing. And I just love how he helped us to understand that motivation behind the series with the couples. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, and I love the conversation about how he uses textile fabrics within his work. And it just really resonated with me because it brings out something special in each of the pieces that he has. Oh, that was awesome.
28 new original works of art by Al Burts, all for you. So if you visited his solo exhibit last year, this is a fresh new body of work and equally, if not more powerful than even last year's show. And I might add, we just hung this show last night and we've already sold a piece. So you can enjoy all of this, of course, virtually by dropping in to virtual exhibit catalog number 36. And it is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just move around on the circles and touch the matter tag below each piece to find the title, medium, artist, and price. See art, love art, buy art,